crazy. How about second-year head coaches? I'm fired up about this. We saw Dan Lanning, the job that he did over at Oregon, Kyle DeBoer at Washington. BK, you just talked about it. You like what he's doing in the 225 down in Baton Rouge. Sonny Dykes did a great job first year going to the Horned Frogs. They're in the playoff. Billy Napier at Florida, a lot riding, especially on that opening game against Utah. And, of course, how about out west, Lincoln Riley? That's a big question mark. But one question mark that the Trojans do not have is when it comes to who their quarterback is going to be. Why do you laugh? Why do you laugh at that?
The guy is such a magician, and if you haven't had a chance to see him play in person, I don't know if you truly have an appreciation for what this guy has meant to that football team.
The guy we're talking about, of course, is Caleb Williams, who, of course, trying to do something that hasn't been done since, 50 years ago, roughly, right? Which is when back-to-back Heisman Trophies. Archie Griffin did it back in 74 and 75, and I mean, how was that playing against him back in the day, Dorian? Was it good? Good? Bad? No?
You always had to watch on the sideline when Archie was out there.
Of course, I'm joking. But this was an interesting quote about the 2024 draft. Caleb Williams said, "That's for sure now going to be an end-of-moment decision at the end of the year. It's my third year. The dream goal was always go 3 and out. Being around the guys and in college and enjoying it, we'll have to see at the end of the year." Luke's thoughts?
My thought is that I have a soft spot in my heart for somebody that can recognize and identify how unique and special it is to actually play college football, and the camaraderie and the pageantry and the purity and the fact that your teammates do mean something. But this is a 3 and out guy, no red shirt year, okay? And so you're talking about a massive amount of money, either as the first or second or third overall pick, and you'd be a year younger by leaving after your third year and again did not redshirt.
I will never get that 10 seconds back of my life where he just declared that he's going to think about it at the end of the year. It's a done deal.
Exactly.
He wasted all of our time right there. We all know he's going to be the first pick in the draft next year. I love what you said about appreciating college football, but this is a guy that's moving on to the NFL after this season.
All right, it's interesting. He's minus 500 to be the first round, their first pick overall in the draft. That happens, but it'll be interesting to see, like, maybe if QB2 or QB3 in that draft at some point uses it as leverage to say, I want to go to this team. Overall, though, any thoughts of what this USC squad is going to look like? You've taken to social media about it.
I don't think there is any question what they're going to look like on offense. That's tried and true. It's been proven. They got one of the most prolific play callers in Lincoln Riley in college football. But I am still concerned on defense. I'm concerned about their inability to tackle. I'm concerned about their inability to get off the field on third down. Very concerned about their inability to stop explosive plays.
That bad, you think?
A year ago they were, and I think what glossed it over was the fact that they were able to somehow create this magnificent number of plus 22 in turnover margin. That doesn't happen. I mean, that's a once in every 10, 15-year type of deal. So, you know, if you remove that, and let's just say they're at plus 9. That's a good number. Are they good enough on defense if that number decreases by half to be who they need to be to help the offense?
I think we're looking at a sample size larger than just last year. Let's go back to Oklahoma with Alex Grinch and Lincoln Riley. Together, those defenses were built the same way. And what happens here, PB, is when you're that bad on defense, eventually one of those middle-of-the-pack teams in your conference are going to sneak up and bite you. But even if you do make it unscathed through and you win the conference championship game, which they couldn't do against Utah last year, you're going to get to the college football playoffs and get destroyed because you don't have your line of scrimmage, particularly the defensive line built the right way.
It kind of reminds me of Ole Miss. Remember when Lane Kiffin went there the first year? They were fantastic offensively, horrifically bad on defense. He did bring in DJ Durkin. All of a sudden, what happened? They won 10 games. But
to their credit, they did bring in some studs up front. Bear Alexander being one of the most notable there. So they could be better. It's just what's the acclimation time going to be like, and what's the scheme of the defense going to change to with those guys up front?
Well, I thought you hit the nail on the head. Whether it's Washington, Oregon, SC, Utah, maybe Oregon State, maybe UCLA. There's 4 to 5 games on every one of those teams' schedule that they could all lose.
Don't agree with Doring. That just
they could all lose.
To be honest,
that's how
the 3 best friends.
That's how how competitively balanced that league is.
It was never really balanced when this guy was playing. Reggie Bush back into the news. He was unbelievable, right? Everybody knows. One of the greatest players in college football history. Filed a defamation lawsuit against the NCAA on Wednesday. In a statement, his lawyers claim the NCAA maliciously attacked his character through a completely false and highly offensive statement that was widely reported in the media and substantially and irreparably damaged his reputation. Talking about kind of the NCAA said that he was part of a pay-for-play investigation.
Why would you not litigate with the NCAA? They suck at litigation. They're on a losing streak right now.
They cower.
Yeah, you might as well just take them to court. They back away from it. They'll settle out of court, and we'll be done with this thing. Why would you not?
Fair to say? I mean,
absolutely fair. All I know is every player that got the waiver that lawyered up was eligible right away,
That's
right?
right.
I mean, the bottom line, that's not been the strong suit of the NCAA. But I don't know if that's really the point of all of this. The point of this is about a Heisman Trophy, right? And you can say you were defamed if you're Reggie Bush. You still had a fairly successful high school career. Financially, you're in a great place, all right? I understand the college side of it, but from a Heisman Trophy perspective, when you watch the Johnny Manziel story, and he has his Heisman Trophy and this guy doesn't.
But that happened after his freshman campaign. At least Johnny says so. Do you think that he should have a Heisman?
No question. I think vacated wins and vacated records and stats are the biggest joke. We all know what happened on the field.
Right.
He was the best player
No doubt.
in college football for almost probably 2 years in a row.
So there's
there.
no accountability. So at that point, the NCAA said these are the rules. And it wasn't USC, by the way. It was Lloyd Lake, a guy that's trying to sign him as an agent. So I understand what Reggie's saying. Hey, it was pay for play. No, it wasn't. USC didn't pay me there. Now, what
The Johnny Manziel documentary, Johnny Manziel's making all that money. We talk about Cam Newton and his father receiving money behind the scenes. Whatever happened to Cam Newton? Nobody was punished for that.
But the question is that they investigated the NCAA, said we went in there, and even Reggie Bush said, all right, I'm going to give back my Heisman. Now, mostly because they probably thought that he was going to go, they were going to take it from him.
Sure.
I think you can retire his number. The records look great, but as far as the Heisman, those were the rules. That family broke the rules, and there has to be some accountability at some point.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.